Good afternoon. My name is Kim Gilbert. I'm the president of the Rhode Island Occupational Therapy Association, and I welcome you to this interview today with Heather Abbott and Courtney Crone, also from the OT board. I'd like to thank the New England Institute for Technology for allowing us to use their occupational therapy lab as the backdrop for our interview. On the day of the Boston Marathon bombing, Heather Abbott and 6 of her friends attended a Boston Red Sox game at Fenway Park before going to the Forum restaurant. While waiting in line to enter the restaurant, which is located near the marathon's finish line, the second of 2 bombs exploded near her. Badly injured, she was carried to safety by former New England Patriots lineman Matt Chatham and his wife Erin, who were supporting a fundraiser at the Forum that day for the Joe Andrewsy Foundation. As a result of injuries to her left foot, Abbott had her left leg amputated below the knee, joining 15 others who underwent amputations related to the bombing. A Rhode Island native, Abbott grew up in Lincoln and graduated from Lincoln High School. She has a bachelor's degree in accounting from Stonehill College, an MBA from Providence College, and a certificate in human resource management from Roger Williams University. She is certified in human resources management by the Human Resources Certification Institute. Abbott is currently employed as a manager of human resource compliance and equal opportunity at Raytheon Integrated Defense Systems. She is responsible for the division's Affirmative Action Plan, Department of Labor audits, and discrimination claims for approximately 14,000 people across the United States. I will turn the interview over to Courtney.
Thank you, Kim. So Heather, as you know, your audience today is comprised of occupational therapists and occupational therapy assistants. During your recovery, what impact did your rehabilitation staff have on your outlook?
I think they had a pretty big impact. And when I think about my OT and PT team at Spalding, that's just what they were as a team.
Mm-hmm.
They actually see their patients together, the same 2 women. So it was very helpful because the 3 of us kind of worked together to figure out what kinds of things would be good for me to work on. And they talked to me about my lifestyle and activities that I usually do. And they, not only helped me focus on getting back to the things that I usually do, they helped me focus on some of the things right in my immediate future. For example, I was asked to throw out the first pitch at a Red Sox game the day I left Spalding. And I was really nervous because, first of all, I'm not a very good thrower. And I was going to have to do it on one leg with my crutches. So, they kind of made PT and OT fun because we actually went out there and practiced with one of the other women who I was friendly with who lost her leg. And we were at Spalding and we were practicing throwing the ball.
That's fun, yeah.
So we were getting ready for that day, but we were also working on balance and that sort of thing at the same time.
That's great. So during my research, I found that you have 4 different prosthetics. How did that come to happen?
Well, you need different legs to do different types of activities.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I have one leg for running, that's just for running,
Okay.
One that's waterproof to wear in the water, one for high heels, and one that I wear most of the time with a regular flat foot. And I've been very lucky to be the recipient of grants and donations, and those are some of the things that have helped me be able to afford to continue with those activities and have multiple legs.
That's great. So I know your most recent prosthetic was the one that you can wear with heels. How is that one working for you? Are you back to wearing heels as much as you used to?
Certainly not as much as I used to. It's really hard. And especially with the winter weather and the ice and snow on the ground, I have not been daring enough to attempt to wear high heels in the ice. So I haven't gotten too much practice lately, but I'm looking forward to the spring and getting more used to it.
Great. So now it's been almost 1 year since your injury. Is there anything so far that you haven't been able to return to that you were able to do?
I wouldn't say there's anything that I can't do, but there are things that are not the same.
Okay.
So running isn't the same.
Mhm.
You know, the types of activities I do at the gym are different than they used to be. But, you know, it's been great that I've been able to continue to do them, just they're modified. A lot of things are modified now.
Was it difficult for you to modify those activities?
Sometimes, I mean, I guess physically and emotionally, you
Mhm.
know, it's frustrating sometimes to not be capable of doing things that I used to be able to do very easily. And, you know, sometimes it is physically difficult to try to change the way, you know, especially running is really tough.
How long have you been running since the accident?
I got my running leg in October.
And I did read a news report that you're planning to run the 2014 marathon. Is that something you're working towards?
Absolutely not. I don't know who printed that.
No.
I would never have run a marathon on two legs. Yeah, I am a runner for exercise.
For fun.
And I would typically do like a 3-mile run and that's about it for me. And I never had aspirations of running a marathon. I do plan to attend the marathon
Yeah.
this year, but
Not
I won't be running it.
Yeah, spectator. Great. So those are the questions we have for you today. I appreciate your coming, and this was very great.
Thank you.
Heather, is there anything that you'd like to say, knowing that the audience is full of therapists who work with all different people from all different walks of life and different age groups, that you think is important for us to know as we carry out our work?
I think, you know, I've spoken to a couple of different groups of therapists since this has happened, and we've had a lot of different discussions about what was successful and what wasn't, I guess, during the time I was in the hospital and in outpatient therapy. And I think, you know, some of the things that stand out in my mind about my healthcare professionals that I worked with are that team atmosphere was important in integrating me as a part of the team was
Yes.
important, because they really cared about what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Not just what they thought I should do. They also kind of knew when to push me and when not to. I remember at Spalding there was this really long hallway that I can walk like that now. But when I was in the hospital, we'd get to the end, we'd come off the elevator to go to the inpatient gym down this long hallway, and I can remember seeing the hallway every time and thinking what a struggle it was going to be to get down it, because I would be expected to use my crutches to get down. And some days, you know, my physical or occupational therapist would say, you know what, you want to use the wheelchair? and some days they would say, Heather, I think you can do it, you know? And they kind of knew the balance of when to, like I said, when to push me and when not to, which I think
Yes.
was really important.
Good, I think that sounds great.
I mean, they helped me, like my occupational therapist helped me learn how to use the shower seat that I needed
Yes.
to use when I got
Yes.
home. And she's gone to people's homes and, you know, assessed them with like construction people to figure
Yes.
out what kind of things
Oh,
they need.
absolutely.
They've been really instrumental in a lot of people's recoveries, and mine included. I mean, we're friends now.
Yeah.
And my occupational therapist was with me when I was doing a press conference at Spalding. And she said, you know, what do you want to do today? And I go, I got to get ready for this press conference. She's like, all right, we'll take a shower, you know, we'll get ready. So I said, okay. And one of my friends came with my dress that I was going to wear. And I told her what shoes to bring with the dress and everything. And she said, okay, what are you going to wear? And I got my dress on, and I went to put my shoes on. And my shoe, at the time I had one shoe. She said, Heather, those are high heels. That's a high heel. And I go, yeah. She goes, how are you going to use that on crutches? And I go, oh, I don't know. I didn't think of that. So she's like, I can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm going to adjust your crutches for high heels. And she did. And she goes, let's go, practice.
That is the essence of what we do.
But that was
Oh, I
important
think
to
it's
me.
great.
Right.
Of course
you know?
it is, of course it is. We have had trouble because the name of the profession throws people off, you know? And so it's very hard to get the word out. There are a lot of people who still don't know what we do. It's getting a lot better. But we really need people to know, because it can be extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
And physical therapy is much more easily recognized. It's also
Yeah.
very important. They have a much easier time getting into
easier to
things.
define.
Yes, much easier to define.
When they told me I was going to have OT and PT, I was like, what is OT?
I know it. So this is one of our goals is to just continue to get the word out so people know what we do and are a little more receptive to it. Terrific. We appreciate your time, we appreciate your enthusiasm, and this is, for us, a real pleasure to hear from you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Nice to
Thanks.
meet you too.